Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center and I'm here with Lareina J. Wong with her movie Soiled. Let's take a look at the clip.
Reese, this is for you.
Thank you, Andy. It's so cute.
Thank you so much for being here today and congratulations on your film. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
So basically Soiled is a story about a young girl who is molested by a close family friend, in this case the family gardener.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is really about her struggle to coming to terms and trying to understand what has happened to her and trying to define whether or not it's wrong, it's bad, and understanding her situation.
Your film was a very, difficult film to watch, but a very important film to watch. Where did the inspiration come for you in creating this particular project?
So the inspiration came from someone that I knew. It was a story that had happened to them, loosely based, of course, and so obviously in the context of film I had exaggerated a lot of moments and tried to create some visual aspects of it, that differed. But ultimately it's also like the culmination of stories that I heard throughout writing the story. I'd written the script. This was actually a thesis project for my USC MFA, and through the whole process I had shared the script with peers and gotten feedback, and to my surprise, to my surprise still, I guess you're never really aware until people tell you, the number of friends of mine that confided in me about similar instances happening to them as a child. And so the idea sprung from this one person, but then the way she interacted and the world that she saw that kind of culminated was basically a culmination of things that have happened in things that I've heard from other people as well.
I thought your cast were amazing. Like really, really, really. I mean, they just felt like a real family. Like even just the banter between the brother and sister was just so real. It's like, it's just like every little young kid's just fighting with each other. And just the mum and dad and the struggles, and also from a perspective where they may miss things and ignore things or not recognize things. And I thought your lead young actress was phenomenal, and having to play on a role like that. How was the casting process for you, and how do you go about, because it's a very difficult subject to be able to kind of relate to your cast about this film, particularly her playing that role as well?
So at USC I was actually warned not to do the film, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
because one of my professors said to me, he's like, Lareina, are you sure you want to do this? Because you could potentially scar a young child actor. And I said yes, because I feel like it's a very important story to tell, and one where we seldom hear of child stories.
Yes.
So going out in terms of casting, I hired casting directors who were associates on Fresh Off the Boat. And so we felt like we had a solid team, but really also in twofold. Casting is difficult because not only finding Asian American actors who can speak Cantonese, which the parents and the gardener spoke in the film, and then also so finding the family and then finding a child that would be able to. So our options, especially with children, were very limited, just because Asian children in general, there just wasn't a large selection. And then on top of that, finding a parent that would be 110% on board, in which case we lucked out. We really did. Rosalie, who played Reese, she was 10 at the time, but she was homeschooled. She's absolutely brilliant, smart kid, really understood direction, took direction well, and her both parents loved the script. They both were on board. So it was very difficult in the beginning, but we really lucked out at the end.
I honestly, of all films I've ever tackled those subjects, I just feel like of all those kind of films that have done that, they're always a very difficult watch. you did it right. You know, you really did it from the perspective of a child. It just felt so uncomfortably real, and I don't think we've seen that in many films. And I just think they always just miss something, and you really did it. It was, you know, again, unfortunately, there's circumstances where it's happening in the world and always has done, and we're trying to prevent all those kind of things. And I think, you know, did you also think as well, making this film, that this might actually help people that have been going through a similar experience?
There's always the hope as a filmmaker, right, that your film can positively influence someone in some way. And so when I had first screened the film back in USC last May for their spring showcase, I actually had someone email me. I guess they found my website, and they emailed me about how their film, or my film, had brought them a positive influence to something that had happened similarly to them as a child. So once in a while, when, you know, the film screens and then I hear from people about similar instances, or people that work with abused kids and whatnot, it's really great to hear that, you know, the film is positively influencing them, and that they really enjoy it. So, yeah.
No, it was amazing. What was the biggest challenge you had in making the project?
Biggest challenge, I mean, definitely working with kids. You know, we only shot with one camera, and we tried to keep things as simple as possible in terms of how we just approached shooting. Also with certain things, like, for example, shooting the scene where she actually, you know, is molested. We shot that with a dummy, and so we wanted to be very careful, and so also shooting with kids in and out times and whatnot. I mean, I think that was definitely a juggle, because obviously there were some days where we just, you know, ran out of time.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, I mean, we made it work,
Yeah.
but just trying to shoot as simple as possible, and knowing that we had one camera to make sure we get as many angles, and not to also I mean, it's very emotional for her.
Yeah.
So to not overdo it,
Yeah.
and just right number of takes and whatnot. So.
And how long did it take it to shoot?
We shot 6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What was it like for you to have your film at NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in front of an audience, and obviously getting their reaction? What was that experience like for you?
It was great. I mean, I love screening the film in front of an audience, especially with the film. Actually has gone to a lot of Asian-specific festivals and whatnot, and it's really great to see across the border how people react, because it's not always the same. Some audiences, you know, they react differently, and obviously in different towns and whatnot. Coming to, you know, back to LA, and where, you know, we had made the film and whatnot, it was really fun to see, you know, the community come out, as well as I had some friends that I'd never seen in a while.
Oh, that's nice.
That came out to see the film as well.
Yeah.
So it was really great. And then afterwards, I spoke to some people who obviously loved the film as well, and that were positively affected by it. And that's always a great feeling.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. What is next for you?
I'm writing a lot. My creative partner and I just finished up writing a feature. Of course, we're still rewriting. The process never ends. But that one's very different. That one is about it takes place within the Guatemalan genocide and kind of the current immigration crisis. But it's basically about a little boy whose family tries to escape the Guatemalan army, who eventually comes to their village to massacre them. But as their family tries to escape, he's the only survivor, and but essentially the destination was to try to get to a relative in the U.S., and so his parents tell him that no matter what, you have to keep going. And through this journey, he, you know, goes through southern Mexico to try to reach to the border of the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
That's an epic story.
Yeah.
I love that. And I mean, just even from that film and Soiled, is it, you feel as a writer director, it's, you know, you want to make those impactful films about real life and what's going on, and actually showcase perspectives that we don't actually get to see as much as we should, to sort of almost help us educate us, help us learn and grow and understand each other better as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, but I also don't want to pigeonhole myself per se. I have a lot of ideas. Like, I mean, I'm also working on another screenplay that takes place during the gold rush, about a young Chinese boy who, you know, grows up in this household where his father is, or his family owns a laundry store.
Oh, wow.
And how he really envies the life of these miners, these Caucasian miners, and how he really wants to be them. And this like struggle with identity of that time period. So I think right now my interests really lie with identity and cultural
Love it.
diversity, diverse films.
Yeah.
But as far as, the future, I don't necessarily want to say I only want to do these films. I love doing these films and they mean so much. It means so much as a filmmaker to have, to have something that you're, what's the word I'm looking for?
No, I know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I think what's nice is that you just got these great visions for
Yeah.
great stories, and I think that's wonderful when you
Yeah.
have those ideas that just
Yeah.
are flowing like that. What have you, as a filmmaker, is there anything that you go by that you've learned that you would maybe share to any other filmmakers out there that you go by in your filmmaking world?
I think my biggest advice is just be open, be receptive to the things around you. I think Lareina 10 years ago to Lareina now has changed dramatically, and I went to film school as an undergrad. I actually graduated early, and my maturity level, but also just who I am as a human being differed, and just life experience. So I think be as open as possible, talk to as many people as possible, listen, and you'd be surprised at what you're inspired by. So.
Oh, I love that. I'll let you be surprised at what you've been inspired by. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you for Prom Time. It was so wonderful, and we're looking forward to seeing much more of your projects, so thank you.
Great, thank you.
All right, everybody.